All right, I think we're live. I think I think this is the thing we always get into when we actually go live or not. Okay, now we're live. Now we got this
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Check one, two. My mellow, my man, get on the mic and do the best you can.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition, the seventh edition of I Heard They Stream Live. I am Damien, and I'm here with always as Woj, and today we're going to be talking about the David Sandstrom episode of Turned Out a Punk and the Fast Ronald episode of Turned Out a Punk, as well as three things from our rooms and a bunch of other crap. Woj, how's your week?
Hectic, mad hectic.
Yeah, I feel like I'm dragging you away from work. Like you were working until we went live.
Yo, the game don't stop,
The
kid,
game does not stop. It's 9 o'clock at night, and shit has to get done for Woj. My, I should be putting kids to bed right now, but I foisted that upon Lauren, so my work is done. Now I just get to unwind with you and talk about shit which is completely inconsequential
Yeah,
of
no,
our
this
lives.
considering the state of the world, the stuff we're going to talk about tonight is dumb.
Dumb, really dumb, but in the best way possible.
Yeah, you
Uh,
need it. You need it.
you need it. You need the stupidity. I don't think I have to get to any passings today. I think mercifully there's another one to get to in terms of passings. I would also though like to say Jay Mascis has currently had to cancel the last 3 dates of the Dinosaur Junior Tour, so our good wishes go out to Jay. Hope he gets better soon. Both of us are ones with the Mascus,
The goat.
the goat. Yep.
Yeah.
I'll never forget one day I'm sitting in Woj has just designed, I think it's your first pair of Nikes that you did, right? Designed.
I don't know. Yeah, probably like I worked on them. I didn't fully design them, but yeah, I helped work on them.
And so I knew you had done it. We had talked about it. And then you were like, yo, is there any chance you could get a pair of these to Jay Mascis? He's going to be in town for in Boston tonight. Can you get him come by and grab a pair of shoes? And I'm like, yeah, let me text him. So I text him, and then he sends me a photo of the shoes because he's looking in the window at the store where you worked at this pair of shoes. And he's like, you mean these ones? I was going to ask you if I should buy these. So that is the Jay Mascis connection. Jay, get better soon.
Yeah.
And on to today's show. As I
Wait,
kind of told,
you don't want to mention the Hulkster at all?
man, I already went on a radio show and talked about the Hulk this week. I feel like
Yeah.
he is he is the worst bass player Metallica never had. Do you believe that he was a Stone Roses fan? Do you know about this thing?
No, but yeah, I believe it.
In the Enemy, like during his kind of like pre the sex tape stuff
Hmm.
happening, but he was kind of in a lull. People were not fans of Hulk Hogan at this point. He did an interview with the Enemy, and towards the end of the interview, he's like, "Hey, brother, can I ask you a question? What happened with Manny from the Stone Roses? Like, what's he up to these days, brother? Because I used to listen to Stone Roses all the time when I was working out." And I haven't read the quote in a while, but I'm pretty sure he mentioned listening to the Second Coming record as the Stone Roses record that he was listening to.
That's sick.
I think what happened was though he looked at the Enemy, knew he was going to do the interview, Googled it quickly, realized Stone Roses was the band to mention at the time, and
Maybe, but I mean,
read the room.
uh, look, maybe, but what was the hit off Second Coming? Love Spreads.
Love spread, yeah.
Dude, that song was like straight up on the radio in Wilkes-Barre when I was a kid. Like,
Yeah, like it is possible, and maybe because I'm not the biggest fan of him, I don't want to believe that it's true. But I don't know. I've always had a hard time swallowing that he was a huge Stone Roses fan. Maybe he was.
nah,
Maybe
I believe it.
okay. Well, I think that's the thing. I'm not in America, so I'm not under the sway of the true American.
No, you're not.
A real American. That was a real American, right?
You don't fight for the rights of every man.
No, I'm in Bret the Hitman Hart country up here.
But yo, the video of Hulk driving in his pickup truck, listening to Young Jeezy, that video, come on, man.
But like, even racist people don't say I'm a racist. Like they're normally like, I'm not racist, but and then they'll say something racist. He said it in post nut clarity.
Hmm.
He said it. like that's the wildest part of the whole thing to me is like that's probably the most honest like post orgasm is probably the most honest we are to with ourselves.
He didn't say he said he's why do you have me out here defending
I
a
don't know why you're
racist? This is
choosing.
crazy.
You set up this war.
I know, but it's not a war. I'm not
No,
going to war for Hulk Hogan.
no.
God damn. But he said he said we're all racist.
Yeah, yeah. And then,
You know what I'm saying?
but still, he then proceeded to say that his biggest fear was that his
I
family
know.
would be reincarnated as an African American family.
See, now I don't even know that quote.
Yeah, he said that they had done there's so much bad karma in them that that was his big fear.
Well, see, now look, then that's him saying that African Americans are badly oppressed, and that would be, and he knows that he would come back and get oppressed. You know what I'm
You
saying?
are really defending Hulk Hogan, Woj.
No, I'm
Like
not.
that.
No, I'm not. I mean, look, you know, I'm a child of the 80s. I was a little Hulkster. I had this crazy picture of me in my bedroom when I was a little kid. I have a Junkyard Dog shirt on, and I'm like going like this, and I'm the wall behind me. There's a Hulk Hogan. It's bigger than life size. It's so big. It's like a 7-Eleven cardboard cutout of him holding a hot dog and like a big gulp. And I'm like, and that was in my room. And then next to that, there's a Hulk Hogan poster. So my shit was hulked up. I mean, I was big into all wrestling. I like Hogan might not even have been my favorite, you know, but
He
yeah,
was
yeah,
he
you
was the
know,
one that got everyone into it. Like I'd be lying if I
yeah,
said I wasn't like drawn in by Hulkamania at that
yeah,
time. But yeah, like once I was in there, like you're saying, there's Jake the Snake, there's Ricky the Dragon Steamboat,
yeah.
there was just like so many other cooler wrestlers. But yeah, I would be lying if I said that I wasn't drawn in
I
to
mean,
them
he
in the
has
80s.
great lore, man. I mean, he did a lot of stuff in Japan, and you know, I don't know. The lore is great, man. You know, like
The
you
lore
know,
might be largely fictional if it came from him, though.
yeah, very true.
Like
I mean, yeah, he tells some tales.
I used to wrestle 400 nights a year, brother.
Yeah.
But rest in peace to Iron Sheik.
And rest in peace, Hitman Howie T, producer of Chub Rock. What else did he do? I mostly know him for Chub Rock. He did some special ed stuff. You know, a lot of dope stuff. He's like one of the first, like, kind of like super producers of hip hop in the 80s. So rest in peace, Howie T as well.
R.I.P. Howie T. Um, well, on to I guess another contentious topic. This is a posting that I sent you, Woj, that you have here. This is from
Hmm.
millsvintageusa.com, and they are selling a One Life Crew T-shirt. Our fight. I think it says our fight on the back. And it is $726 Canadian, which I think is like $500 American.
Well,
This is madness.
it
This is
might not
madness.
load up for you anymore because I just bought it. No.
You had to go with your Hulk Hogan wrestling headband.
Look, to be fair, it's $520 American, and it looks to be like dead ass, like perfect condition.
Because I guarantee there's boxes of these. Like Victory, when
I
you
don't
go through the
know.
Victory catalog, the amount of merch they were pressing up for stuff, it was crazy. And that was the thing that was like, it was like, oh, Victory stopped selling the OLC record. Like you can't get the OLC record anymore from Victory. 100% you can still get the OLC record through Victory.
The record for sure, but yeah, you're probably right. I mean, I don't know. Like I know my homie Omar has this shirt. I've only seen it a couple times, man. This is definitely not a common OLC shirt.
It's not that it's not common because like that's the thing is like hardcore shirts like you're right like at most there's what 1,000 of these pressed originally
Mm,
500 probably more likely
yeah.
how many of those survived but it's just the fact that it's this shirt and this shirt in particular of this band is the thing that I find insane to me.
I mean, this shirt rocks. This is
I
like a
don't
this is a perfect hardcore
it
shirt,
is
bro.
definitely the only OLC shirt I would wear because there's
Yeah.
like very little chance of someone noticing what it was.
Yeah.
as opposed to some of the other ones that I've
It,
seen, which
it's
are,
their anti-racist song.
yeah, it's their anti-racist song. It's actually um it's a confront song.
Yeah,
So I can see that. I would definitely though understand a $500 confront shirt. That to me is
yeah.
completely reasonable. And maybe I've just lost all perspective in this sort of post Travis Scott wearing a Judge shirt world.
Eh, I think I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think this is
You think this is going for a hardcore kid or is it going to a
yeah.
fashion person?
No way this is going to a fashion person because this doesn't this first of all this shirt's too crispy for a fashion person. Fashion person needs the shirt to be worn out as fuck. And this is definitely going to a hardcore person because it's there's no cracking on this thing. It looks fucking brand new, man.
I wonder if were OLC already kicked off, quote unquote, kicked off the label by the time the Victory magazine came out? I think they were
I think so, yeah.
because I don't remember seeing this in the catalog.
Yeah, they were kicked off. They were kicked off like right when the record came out. Like I was super young in this scene then, you know. This was happening like right when I was kind of getting my bearings of the hardcore scene, you know. But I remember one time I was in gallery Joe Nardone's Gallery of Sound at the Wyoming Valley Mall, and there was a One Life Crew Crime Written Society used CD, and I don't even know that I was gonna buy it. I just had it in my hands. I was looking at it because I never saw one before, you know, for some
Yeah.
reason, you know, and I was like, "Whoa, they have this," and this guy Jay Hudak, who is like a Wilkes-Barre elder, who's so cool. He's like such a cool dude. He like owns multiple Victim in Pains, and he actually, you remember Nothing Left fanzine?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the dude who did Nothing Left fanzine lived in Wilkes-Barre for a while, and those zines came with sampler CDs. And the original drummer of Magnus, who died, before he died, he had a band with this guy Jay Hudak called Texaco Judo, and they have a song on one of those comps that's so fucking good. Like I would do anything to get the rest of their recordings. It's so
What's
good.
what's the
It's
vibe?
it's emo, like you know
Oh
what I
yeah.
mean? It's you know what? It's emo, but it's like maybe like a early Jawbreaker or mid Jawbreaker, like and like jangly and like
Pop punky kind of.
sort of, yeah, but not corny at all. Like not, you know, like it's so good. But anyway, that dude just came up like a phantom. I didn't even know he was in the record store and just took it out of my hands. He goes, "No, put it down."
I've said this before on the show, but Mike from Fucked Up and the guitar player of his band, Andy,
Hmm.
were kind of key people in the organization of the One Life Crew boycott, and were listed on the One Life Crew website under the Figario section.
Yeah, that's what an honor.
I know it's like that is like I would just retire from hardcore there.
Yeah, that's so much cooler than being on the How's Your Edge
Edge break
break
list.
list. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I think one you wear with pride, one you wear with shame for so
Yeah.
many reasons. Um, the yeah, like I was the same way. I was just kind of getting into it at this time that this was all going down, and remember reading about it and hearing about it, and then the One Life Crew riot at Cleveland Fest and
Hmm.
the fallout from that. So maybe it's just like that same sort of aversion that I have from the 90s still going on me. But when I saw this, and this was sent to me by Chris O'Toole, friend of the show and host of the footnotes. And so when I first saw this, I think my 90s reaction to OOC alarm went off immediately. Like, oh my God, that is insanity.
I mean, I'll admit it is. I don't know now because looking at it well, it's sold. First of all, it says sold out. Someone bought this.
I don't even want to speculate. There's
No,
so
it
many
says
funny
it.
names we could throw out for it.
Yeah,
Who bought it?
yeah, but yeah. I mean, hey, shout out to whoever bought that.
If we see Travis Scott wearing it on a red carpet, um, you're gonna have to wear a Blue Jays hat next time we do this
I
podcast.
will. Yeah. And any to any dumbasses who care about sports. I can't name one Yankees player. You know, this is a hat that I made off of Polo 92 stadium colors. I don't, you know what I mean? I know what do we got? Reggie Jackson, Don Mattingly,
Derek Jeter,
yeah, Jeter,
um,
yeah. Mickey
Babe Ruth,
Mantle.
Babe Ruth, the Babe,
Yeah, the Babe.
the Big Bambino.
Yeah.
The only baseball player you need to know is Scott Radinsky, because that's the only baseball player that's actually accomplished anything in life, being in 10-foot pole and in pulley.
I want to yeah. Who would be the OLC to him? John Kruk, I guess.
I guess John Crump. Yeah, I think there's quite a few baseball players that
Yeah,
could be
yeah.
in that position.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I wanted to talk to you about is I saw the Superman movie, the new
Mm,
Superman movie, which is very hyped up. And there has been more than a few articles that have kind of hit the internet recently acknowledging the fairly on the sleeve punk references or sort of punk direction of this movie. There's like a section of dialogue in the middle between Clark Kent and Lois Lane about punk and whether or not Clark, aka Superman's story spoiler if you didn't know that,
mhm.
is a poser because he liked a pop punk band. I was speculating who the pop punk band was meant to be. I thought it might be Good Charlotte, but the band that plays them is Foxy Shazam in the movie. And then it ends with a Iggy Pop song, "Punk Rocker," which has become a big hit for Iggy Pop again. And people have made sort of allusions to the fact that there's like punk rock themes running throughout the movie, and this is the new punk rock Superman.
I'm a comic book fan and reader to various degrees, and you know, I don't really keep up with new comics. I like some newer like indie comics, and every once in a while I'll pick up a Marvel, DC, or Image thing if it catches my eye, or Dark Horse or something. But when I do that, one thing or when I go to the comic store, I'll just pick stuff up random like new issues and look through them and stuff. There's so much punk stuff in modern
Mm-hmm.
comics. There's comics that are just named after punk songs. Like speaking of Jawbreaker, like there's a comic called "What's the Furthest Place from Here?" And even just like there's just guys will have like punk shirts in random comics for like no reason and stuff. So I think it's just that thing where it's like, like we always talk about where like this generation of people that are becoming like professionals in creative spaces come from touched on punk at some point in their upbringing. They're coming
Yeah,
up.
definitely. And like there's Spider Punk in Marvel,
Hmm.
and I, the DC. There's definitely been punk references in the DC sort of TV stuff that they've done in Gotham. There's one where Lori Petty does "Smash It Up by the Dam," like sings
Hmm.
a Dam cover on it, and there's tons of other punk stuff in the animated things and references. But I don't know, it felt like the whole movie, and maybe it's just the way I was watching it, was kind of meant to lead you along this sort of like punk theme. And I guess you're right. This is an extension of kind of the comic book world, but it was really interesting to see it on the big screen. It's also interesting that this is sort of James Gunn's
Mm.
direction. And so it's obvious that this is sort of his direction. And I kind of knew that because he's always getting like Gogo Bordello or Jeff Rosenstock or like these punk kind of things involved in the projects that he does. But it did shock me when they did the punk rock speech in the movie.
Interesting. I mean, I was thinking about going to see Fantastic Four, but maybe I'll go see Superman.
I saw someone on say this online, but like Fantastic Four is the better movie,
Mm.
but Superman's way more fun.
Okay.
Like partway through Fantastic Four, I was like, this feels like homework for the movies that are going to come down the line.
Mm. Right,
and
right.
and Superman the whole way through, it's just like audience. It's like fan service, but not in like that recent Star Wars way where you're like, this is silly and doesn't make sense.
I can't remember the last time I've been to the movies, so
I've started going again. Like I used to fall asleep in every movie I went to once I became sort of a parent, but
yeah.
I don't know. Last few movies I've been to, I've been like awake the whole time, like just loving the experience again. I think it's very rarely do I get a moment of quiet.
Hmm.
I can just like sit and sort of escape for a second. So yeah, I'm really enjoying going back to the movie theater. I saw How to Train Your Dragon, but
Wow.
no punk references in that.
Yo, what do you think about I mean, I just remembered the last episode I made a reference to this because you were at your aunt-in-law's
Lauren's aunt's
house.
place. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see that some streamer dude like bought the house that like Annabelle like came from or whatever?
Yeah, that Matt Rife comic,
Oh,
right?
comic. Yeah, Matt Rife. Yeah.
Yeah, what a fucking it's just asking for trouble.
You know, that guy constantly gets like ripped on for being like a bro and a normie and like so lame and stuff. Is this him trying to be the dumb weird? I got Annabelle.
Look at
I'm
this, man.
interesting. Yeah.
Bro, it's Annabelle.
I'm
Like,
possessed. I'm so
bruh.
fucking weird. I'm literally possessed.
I think this way, when his career continues to go on this sort of downward trajectory, he can be like, it's the curse. It's not me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's this goddamn curse from all these cursed artifacts I bought.
Cursed
Like, I
artifacts.
don't even like believe in that stuff,
No.
but at the same time, I wouldn't want to like usher it in.
Yeah. I mean, no, I want to usher it in. I torment my wife every night. Literally every night when we go to sleep. Now I've kind of changed it to something else that's even more fucked up that I won't repeat on the podcast. Not that it's problematic, it's just really fucked up. But I used to every night before bed I would announce to any available demons, specters, whatever, that our whole house are vessels for their doing, and they could come and have their ways with us. And I always say starting on at the top because we live with my wife's sister, and I say start with the top floor, work your way down. Because we like argue about this because my wife is believes in this shit to some degree, and I'm just like, hey, if ghosts and spirits are real, feel free. Here I am, possess me right now. Like what I'm here for you.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work like that. You have to be believe. There's always some bullshit.
I will tell you, like, I didn't want to believe in it. I didn't believe in it, but at the same time, like,
Yeah,
it clearly affects people in a major way. Like the thoughts of this stuff or this whole like ghosts and the paranormal. And I'm like, I just don't want to like have something happen and it flip a switch in me where now all of a sudden I'm a believer
yeah,
and I've let all this shit into my life. Like that wrestlers episode that I made in the Congo, some of the shit I saw there, I'm like, I don't want to fuck with any
mm,
paranormal stuff. It was just like just anything that I couldn't explain. I'm like, yeah, that's too freaky. I'm gonna leave that untouched by me. And then that would include the Annabelle doll, even though I had the fake Annabelle doll hiding behind me last week.
yeah. Like I didn't know that the Annabelle doll was a legit Raggedy Ann.
Mm-hmm.
Because like
I,
when I was a kid, I had that actual same one. You know what I mean? So I had an Annabelle.
I, the doll in the movie looks way scarier.
Yeah, yeah. They can't do it with the fucking Raggedy Ann.
But that being said, the Raggedy Ann thing coming after you would
Yeah,
be so much scarier
yeah. In real
in
life.
real
Yeah,
life. Yeah, like if the Raggedy Ann doll was really gonna come after you as a
yeah.
possessed creature. uh yeah, like I don't want to believe in that stuff because let's say like records could hold evil spirits then, and
Hmm.
how many like records from people that have passed away do I own? They're all gonna come and get me. It's gonna be like the fucking Ghostbusters safe exploding.
Yeah. Well, that's what you could do. You could when you're if you're like gifting like a test press of your band to a homie or whatever, you could like inscribe on it like when I die, if you ever sell this record, my spirit is gonna come and possess you.
Wasn't there something like that with, there was some limited hardcore record where they made you sign like, I will never fucking sell this thing,
Yeah.
I will never betray this. Was it the In My Eyes
I won't
Revelation Can Suck It record or something? Or
maybe. I'm not sure. I know what you mean. Yeah.
God, I've got a couple records like got a Get Real 7 inch that's Martin out of 10. because it was
Martin.
given Martin from career suicide, and then he sold it at a
Oh,
record
that's
store, and I
cool.
bought it. There's definitely going to be that thing's going to come to life and haunt me like the Annabelle,
Wait, what record was it?
the Get Real 7 inch.
You know, I drew the Get Real logo,
Oh my god!
like the fake ass
So,
Beastie Boys.
so you're going
Not
to come
not the
after me,
fish,
not the
not the
fish one.
fish. Just like the shitty like handwriting on the 7 inch or whatever.
That means you're going to come at me through this record eventually too.
No, I won't, I don't know.
You, Martin, Bob Shed.
I have no tie to that record.
Uh, um,
Although I love Get Real though, for sure.
would you like buy like a straight up cursed artifact if someone's like, "Yo, this is a cursed artifact"?
Yeah, because I want it to be real. I want
Yeah,
something to be real. There's so much wasted on all this bullshit. And literally, there's not one werewolf, vampire, Dracula. There's nothing. The world is so fucking lame. There's not, like, we got AI as our only hope of there being something cool to fight against.
there, yeah. I guess the AI could make vampires and werewolves,
Yeah.
creatures from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, like I want something to be real, like aliens. I would love if like there's never been a fucking alien here.
On any of your tours in the U.S., did you ever stop at that thing, the thing, and you see like road signs for it forever? I think it's in Arizona. I'm trying to remember where it is
Yeah, I've
exactly.
seen road stops, or road signs, but I've never been there. What is it?
It's like you go through this whole museum and they're like, this might be Hitler's car, but it's like a Rolls Royce. It's like, why
Oh
would Hitler
God.
drive a Rolls Royce? And like, there's all these sorts of exhibits, and then you get to the final thing. It's like, here's the thing. What is it? And it's one of those mermaids they used to have at freak shows where it's like a monkey's torso sewed onto like a fish's body
Uh,
and then stuffed. I
yeah,
think
like
that's what it was. It was not worth the effort.
dude, I was at like a local like shitty. First of all, I have held an insane artifact once in my life, but before I tell you what that is, like do you remember like going to like freak shows at the carnivals where they had like the snake lady and the crab boy and shit like
We
that? Like, are you old enough? Like, do you
we
have
didn't
that
really
up there?
have that in Canada because we didn't really
Okay.
have like carnivals like you do in America because that's
Uh,
like such an American thing.
yeah.
We had like the national exhibition, and there was like at the time when I was super young, like a freak show, but it was like not not anything like the ones that I've
Mm.
seen from Coney Island footage or documentaries and stuff like that.
Yeah, those they were weird, man. Bearded lady and shit like that. I've seen that kind of shit.
Yeah, the one time they asked my dad to be the bearded lady because he had a crazy beard. They're like, "Can you dress up in a dress and be the bearded lady?" This thing for us.
Carny shit.
I could have been on the road. My parents could have had me in the road, and I could be a carny guy right now.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard? Speaking back to Hulk Hogan, when he went to visit his son in prison, and they were having a conversation they didn't want the authorities to hear. They did the entire conversation in Carney.
Yeah. That's sick.
It is the craziest language to hear spoken, Carney.
I've never heard it.
It's like Pig Latin, but it's like is a at the end. So it's the Mizarks and the I can't really speak it. I'm not going to try, but it's like a real language. Like these guys, like when they speak it, they speak like they can do whole conversations in it.
Whoa.
And it's I guess a carryover from the carnival that made it into wrestling because of course wrestling starts on the carnivals.
I mean, it's pretty crazy that he taught that to his son, right?
Yeah, yeah. Like he's like a true worker.
Yeah,
Like
man.
that's like his whole thing was like, was he ever not in kayfabe?
Right.
And I guess we'll never know now.
We'll never
Keep
know,
going back.
brother.
Keep going back to the Hulkster, brother.
Yep. But
I tell you, if there is a heaven, you better pray Macho Man's not waiting for him.
Macho Man is not in heaven.
Where's Hulk?
Yeah, no. um my artifact story.
Yeah.
Uh so the craziest thing I ever held in my hand, I was in Japan, and I won't say who the guy is cuz I don't know, just cuz it's you'll know why when I tell you what the artifact is. But I was in his office and he has a really cool collection of stuff. And he says, Nixon, you know, like Nazis? Did I ever tell you this story?
No.
No? He's like, Nixon, you know, like Nazis? And I'm like, Yeah, we no, not really. He's like, "Here, hold on." And he gets this thing and he puts it in my hand. It's this like it's this like tortoise shell plastic container with an ivory swastika on the top, right?
Whoa.
He goes, "Turn over, turn over." I turn it over, and it has engraved EB on the back. It was Eva Braun's
Whoa.
soap dish.
That's like the circles you'd have to run in. I guess that would have been probably taken by like an Allied soldier or a Russian soldier after they raided the bunker.
Yeah,
One would imagine, right? Like, but I don't know. That's what I always think with like, because people would be like, "Oh, Lemmy collected Nazi stuff. Frank
yeah.
Sinatra collected Nazi stuff."
Well, if you're in Japan, if you go to like vintage places in Japan, they have Nazi stuff. You'll see Nazi stuff all over. Like if you're going to the right places. Um,
Or the wrong places.
yeah, yeah. Uh, but yeah, that's the thing there anyway. Just because they're such insane collectors, and I mean, there's is other reasons, but yeah, yeah. So like, I held a Ava Braun's like traveling soap dish.
That's yeah. Like there's, I've definitely never held anything like that, but
Like it's
it's
possible
probably
Hitler
very cursed.
touched that thing.
Yeah, it's probably like that's like pure evil. Like that should be in that Matt Rife house with the fucking doll,
Yeah,
because like there's some like true evil in that soap dish. There's no cleaning that soap dish.
no.
Um, yeah, like the I'm trying to think the wildest artifact. Like I've seen stuff in museums, like crazy things in museums, obviously, but like the private collection type thing. I know I've probably seen something nuts. I'm like maybe this guy doesn't want people to know this, but it's not sketchy at all. But he's got this friend of mine has like the craziest collection of samurai swords, like actual feudal Japanese samurai swords. Like he's like, yeah, this was $30,000. This was like $28,000. Just like,
Whoa.
yeah, like old ancient swords, like amazing swords, but he just had
Hatoro
them.
Hanzi.
Like just crazy, like yeah, exactly, like some real Kill Bill shit going on in his place. He had one like double-handed, gigantic samurai sword. And I would
Damn.
not like to see the samurai who would be wielding that.
Is this guy on Love on the Spectrum?
No, it's a thin line though.
For
It's
some
like
reason, all Love on the Spectrum people love Disney and swords.
samurai swords.
Yeah.
I think like there are certain things that you can have in your apartment or in your dwelling that if you're a certain type of personality, you can pull off without it becoming your whole personality.
Yeah.
Like if you're cool enough, you can pull off having swords, but very quickly you're going to become the sword guy and like really
Yeah.
weird.
You know those like certain type of like yuppies, like older, like that like stereotype of yuppie type people who have like all like the African shit.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. Like the vibe of like or like yeah the boyfriend from uh God the movie about record collecting,
High fidelity.
High Fidelity,
Yeah.
like her boyfriend that she leaves him for, kind of vibe.
Yeah. There's like a
Yeah,
certain like stereotype of like streetwear person who like they have a Range Rover and they have to have like a Macintosh power amp
yeah,
set up with like the gigantic Alltech
tubes.
Lansing speakers and like certain shit like they just like oh you're like a OG streetwear head. You have to have that stuff.
You even say that with certain bands,
Mm,
like during the height of people inventing subgenres for hardcore. I remember graphic designer metal
yeah.
was a genre. I think Chris Corey came up with that, and yeah, it made perfect sense. Like when he described what it was, I'm like, yeah, I know a lot of graphic designers that would fit that profile and
He's
look like
really
that
good at
music.
making like pejorative subgenres.
Yeah, yes, he's the
He's
master
so
of it.
good at making fun of people and making you feel like a fucking idiot. He's the master.
He's got a little bit of a razor tongue sometimes. So
Yeah. I
uh
learned
so
I learned from the best, man.
yeah, I feel like we, like looking back on the zines that were kind of coming out, from like that crew of people, or like the locking out kind of adjacent type people, like some of the best scenes ever, some
Hmm.
of the funniest fan scenes that I
Yeah,
still go
yeah.
back and flip through.
The locking out zines were. I remember getting those, and like I didn't know those guys really. I would just like say what's up to them, and I just like wanted to know the inside jokes so bad. You know what I mean? Like,
It was also like, I don't know, this jumping ahead because I want to talk about this later on, but like it was like such a paradigm shift in like what was cool was stuff that people that I ultimately, I guess, Greg and other people, but like what they like, not necessarily what you were supposed to like. Like there was kind of like a checklist of like, this is cool, you're supposed to like this thing, you're supposed to like this thing, no, not this record, not that record. Like Super Touch. Super Touch was not a cool band to like for a long time, and I feel like that Super Touch revival really started with Locking Out.
I could see that for certain people, but I don't know. I remember Super Touch always being cool to like, but I don't know. I look at it a little differently. I think that Locking Out kind of brought on a little bit of the opposite of what you're saying, in my opinion. You know, like the I don't know, just like the demo core type thing of it got to it's just kind of set this precedent where it was like anything that took itself a little serious or was a little semi-pro or just wasn't like I don't know, like loved all the stuff that those guys liked and the thought that every like it was a positive influence on hardcore and it was like we needed it then like I was totally in, you know what I mean? It was a breath of fresh air for sure, but I think it what came after, I think it brought on kind of like this like because to me like that box ticking thing is like these are the things you have to like to be down with us and not be a Norman Corman. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of how I saw it, you
Yeah, I
know?
guess you're right. It was like a different checklist, maybe
Yeah.
instead of like no checklist. But
And like I agreed with those checklists. And I'm like, yeah, I agree. But looking back, like, you know, especially years after and seeing like what it turned into with like the generations after, I don't know. I'm just like, yo, you're not Greg, you're not AJ. You're just kind of taking on the yeah, I don't know.
I feel like that's like demo core kind of world was already like the no warning world was already kind of like that up here. And it was
Yeah,
like pre mental, like that was kind of those guys' vibe,
for
the
sure.
no warning guys. And
They were proto demo core. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. The my favorite mental, did I tell you, first time mental played Toronto, they like tagged along on the tear it up um think I care tour, and they showed up in Toronto and Mike was doing the show and Career Suicide was playing and Fucked Up was playing, and Greg didn't want to mental to play till the no warning guys got there.
Mm.
And Mike's like, no, you guys got to play before Career Suicide type thing. And Greg went on stage. He's like, yo, we're mental. Blah, blah. Fuck Career Suicide. And the set came in. It was the best fucking set ever.
That rocks.
I think you meant to say fuck fucked up, but didn't know our names. So we got Career Suicide got the brunt of it.
Yeah, I mean that happened. That there's a similar Cold World story with I feel like I told this story on Turned Out a Punk before, but Knocked Loose. Somebody I saw somebody like ask somebody from Knocked Loose about Cold World on Twitter, and he said I never liked Cold World, and it was like right before we played Sound and Fury, and I told Dan I was like, yo, before we played before songs say I never liked Knocked Loose. And for some reason, he said, I never liked Jesus Piece.
You didn't tell the story, but I've heard this story from someone.
Yeah. And like, I had to like, we had to like apologize to them. It's like, yo, dude, he's like a dumbass.
Also, I will say Jesus Piece a million times over Knock Loose for me.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, To be honest, I don't even know that I've ever heard Knocked Loose. But
I have on social media, I think, because they've got that song where the guy barks in it.
oh, guy barks in their song.
He does like a woof woof thing, I think.
Oh, really? Damn,
Yeah.
they're really biting K9us.
Yeah, I guess they are. I guess they are. I shouldn't. I don't know for sure if they do that or not. I've also not heard Knock Loose, so
No,
very
I mean
much.
they're not for me, but like I'm not dissing them. Like they're doing their thing, you
They
know.
went after Cold World first. They fired the first shot, and then poor Jesus Piece got caught up in
You
the
know what? You
crossfire.
know what though? Like, hey, that sucks that they dissed us, but at the same time, that's a step in the right direction, in my opinion, because I bands should be dissing each other again. Like that's what needs to happen. Like that's what I miss is like shit talk, you know. So, but then the one time a band fucking shit talks, I'm the brunt of it somehow.
uh, all right, let's get into today's episodes that we're going to be talking about. First of all, it's Fast Ronald, who I knew as RJ forever, and like I guess when I first met him, he was kind of roadieing with Iron Age or on the road with Iron Age, and through that, knew him when he was doing some hip hop stuff, and then now he's moved in for the last few years doing really well with comedy, and he does stuff at the Rolling Loud Festival and does a lot of streeter stuff there, and has a new stand up special. But yeah, long time friend. I'm sure you know RJ. No?
No, I don't really know, dude, like that. You know, I've met him once or twice in passing, I think. Like he's like in that crew of people that like I had to be around at some point, like on tour, because like Arthur and Haroon like needed weed. You know what I mean? Like it's like I don't really know him like that, but yeah, I mean he's always been around though for sure.
Yeah, he's got a crazy record collection. We didn't talk about it, and some
Oh
like
really?
wild zines too. Yeah,
Hmm.
he's always had like really great taste in music, and he's got like all these zines by Bobby Sox
Hmm.
from like that old Texas lunatic guy
Yeah.
that are really fucking weird. The photos he showed me from him. But yeah, like he's like you're saying, he's a guy who was a fixture in sort of the dicier Austin hardcore scene kind of era. That Austin scene was like the craziest out of all of them. Like it was so gnarly, the stuff that people were up to back then. Like the whole time on that episode, I'm like tiptoeing around so many different stories where I'm like, I don't know if we should tell this story. I don't know if it's cool to tell this one either.
Yeah, I don't know. That whole world, that whole part of yeah, I'm too nerdy and dorky to have been down with all that shit. Whenever we played around there, I'm like, I'm staying in the hotel. I'm staying in the van and these dudes are doing whatever. I don't know.
You guys ever do a South by Southwest?
No. No.
Oh man, you guys, it was those were super fun.
We did Chaos and Chaos, obviously,
Yeah,
a later one. And that was fucking awesome.
they got really good. Timmy
Yeah.
started booking like just stupid lineups for those things.
Yeah, I mean that's got to be the best fest ever as far as lineups goes.
Yeah, yeah. There's definitely some of those fun festivals. Did you guys play one of those too?
I don't know. Where was that?
That was Texas as well. It was Graham, who's like he roadie for Hatebreed on the very first Hatebreed
Hmm.
tour.
No, I don't think we played any of those.
He's like a
Maybe
British
I don't.
dude.
Not that I remember.
They were always like super fun as well, and like with ridiculous lineups like Slayer, Judge, and Danzig, and like just like the wildest, weirdest lineups of people, and then like some crazy hip hop stage as well, and comedy. And I feel like music wise, those were the best times because it was still affordable for all. Like most of those shows were free for
Yeah.
people to go to during South by Southwest and stuff like that, and the lineups were stacked in a way that I don't think you could get that kind of stacked lineup together now.
You can. I mean, the fests that, to a kid now, the hardcore fests at least
Yeah,
are stacked. You know what I mean? But they're not. They're not to us.
yeah, well, Sound and Fury had Project Pat come out,
Yeah.
and that was like that was like super cool. But like there were like multiple things like that at these festivals back then. Like, or
Yeah.
it wasn't just like hardcore bands. It would be like a crazy hardcore lineup, but then like an insane indie stage, and then also an insane hip hop stage. And because stuff wasn't, I don't know, maybe because it wasn't big enough to sustain on its own, or but it's just like everything kind of coexisted for
I
a
mean,
brief period.
I have thoughts on it, but they're probably, I don't know, like, the difference is like those were like kind of like tastemaker lineups, right? It was like put together in like a cool forward thinking way, whereas like something like Project Pat on Sound and Fury, or like, yeah, I always see like hardcore bands playing with like Tommy Wright the Third and stuff like that. It's just like not. I don't I don't know. It's There's something different about it to me. It doesn't come across the same for
Yeah,
some reason.
because it was like it was almost like the weirdest one. I think it was a fun festival, and like Jizza was playing, and Power Trip was playing. No, it was pre Power Trip, so it must have been Ice Age. No, sorry, Iron Age, but Iron Age wasn't. I can't remember. Trash Talk was definitely there,
Hmm.
and all of a sudden, like things start getting weird between Jizza and all these Texas hardcore kids, and it's just like, whoa, this is like these are two worlds that shouldn't be colliding that are somehow colliding right now,
Yeah.
and like no one really knows how to deal with anybody in these situations.
Yeah, look, those the world should in my opinion, the world shouldn't collide. I don't know.
We one is the South by Southwest. We get there, we're playing some show, and it's supposed to be headlined by Master Killa and Jizza. And oh fuck, sorry.
Talking.
And Jizza uh gets on didn't get on his plane, so didn't show up for the show. So we're like standing there, we're about to go on and play the set, and then this dude we know comes up to us like, "Hey, this is Master Killa. He wants to know if you guys can like do a little beat for him, and he can come on and kick a freestyle during your set if you'd be cool with that." And we're like, "Sure." So midway through the set, I look over and he's like, "Give me the thumbs up," like now, and I'm like, "Yeah, man, okay." I'm like, "Master Killa." He comes
Damn.
out, and then Sandy does a bass line and Jonah does a drum, and he freestyles over it.
Yo, that's sick,
It was
actually.
insane.
That's sick. I mean, yo, sometimes it works. Like, now that I'm thinking about it, like a Chaos and Teos, like we played with Rock Marciano and Mayhem Loren and
Yeah,
Soul Search, and like that show was fucking awesome. So like, yeah, it could work for sure. You know?
it could work. I think the thing was it was so new back then, and now it
Yeah,
feels a lot more just sort of the way you do things. But yeah,
yeah,
that like or like, and I love when you like you see, and it wasn't just brand new then, because like obviously you look back and you see shows where like Trouble Funk playing with like the big boys and Minor Threat.
yeah.
So there is sort of this mixing that has happened in punk rock and hardcore, but at that time period, like I guess the hipster explosion and like Pitchfork at the height of its powers, it just felt like it was a really exciting time for this stuff.
I saw a flyer recently that was like Madball, Crown of Thorns, 25 to Life, and like Fat Joe, Beat Nuts, and somebody else crazy.
Like at a club.
Yeah. I mean,
I wonder.
it looked like a back to basics flyer. Like, you know how like they'll
Yeah,
have like the Juggernaut and like just everything cut and pasted. Like it looked like that. Like I don't know if that show actually happened because I feel like we would have heard about it,
yeah.
but it looked sick. You know?
Yeah, like also you imagine with like CMJ stuff back then, there would have been potential for something like that to also happen there, but
Yeah.
that also feels like something that's very New York.
Yeah, I wasn't getting a CMJ vibe off of this, but maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
But man, yeah, you'd think we would have heard about that. That there's no way that wouldn't have been spoken about. Mind you, I've never seen a
Yeah,
flyer for it before, so
yeah, my friend Pepe showed it to me from joint custody.
there's still lore hidden in those hills.
There's still lore, man. I mean, there was some like, do you remember Roguish Armament?
Roguish Armin, no.
I don't know anything about them, but they were like a loosely New York hardcore. I mean, they were like a hip hop group, and they had a CD on Striving for Togetherness, you know. And I don't. That's all I know. Like I had the CD and
Well, Striving for Togetherness
Kevin
is
Gill.
Kevin Gill, the homie Kevin Gill,
Mhm.
who he's been on the show before,
Yeah.
and we did break down a little bit of the lore, but I feel like there's a lot. Like I was doing research for this long coming skiing documentary that I'm working on, and I was investigating the Crimp Shrine skiing beef, and like, so I was looking through some crazy old back issue of Max and Rock and Roll, and found a classified ad with Aaron Comet Bus calling out skiing records for ripping them off,
Mm.
and above it is a classified ad from Kevin Gill looking for live recordings of Murphy's Law. Like, yo, if you have any rare Murphy's Law live recordings or demos, please get in touch for trades.
That's such a weird thing to put in a zine, but
Yeah. He
go
did the
off, King.
soundtrack for Backyard Wrestling, the video
The
game.
video game?
Yeah. And so that's why there's like some weird hardcore stuff on that
Huh.
as well. There's like a lot of interesting, weird ass record labels out of New York City during that period.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm trying to think of like what Striving Togetherness put out. They put out like VOD. They put out
District 9.
yeah, No Redeeming Social Value.
Yeah. Um, they did the New York hardcore comp.
Yeah. And
Powerhouse.
I think they did a 25 to life thing come out on that.
I think it was listed at some point. I remember their ad in Max Rock and Roll. It was like the Ultimate
Mm.
Warrior on the top rope, and
Oh
it was like a
yeah.
double image of it
Yeah.
for the thing.
Maybe like a 1 for 1 CD.
Yeah, we got to get Kevin Gill to just come on this and
Yeah,
like
man.
break down all this stuff
He's
with
an
us.
interesting guy, man. His episode was dope.
Yeah, he is like, it's funny because like in the hardcore world, like where people know his resume and stuff, like I think like people like, oh man, the guy's been around forever and paid the dues, but in wrestling, he is a heel to so many of those wrestling fans that I don't get along with, but
Mm.
like just like takes so much shit from so many of these wrestling fans, and it's like, yeah, like blah blah blah. This guy, who the fuck is this guy? Some suburban dude. I'm like, dude's been going to shows in New York City since he was like a kid. Like he's not just some suburban weirdo. Like we're all suburban weirdos, I guess, at the end of the day. So
Yeah. I'm
even
just a
more,
teenage dirtbag baby.
yeah, exactly. That a wrestler uses that as his entrance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and we just actually came and performed live at a wrestling show.
Whoa. That just is in my head because I saw on Twitter like literally right before this. You know that video, that clip that's going around of this like proto like stomp clap like group playing like you know that like fucking hey ho you belong to me do you
Oh yeah,
hey ho.
yeah.
There's some like video of like a like the demo core version of that music going around like right now super viral, and it's like says like the worst song ever written, and then somebody like reposted it but with the weedest tiny desk thing of him like it just like super cringy.
Like
It was
when
cracking me up.
like when it was first announced that Tiny Desk might be going away, I'd be lying if I said there wasn't a sigh of relief.
Yeah, I've had enough of Tiny Desk.
It's crazy
Get
those
Tiny
things.
Desk out of here.
From where it was to where it's at now, like the jump has been intense.
There's some good ones though, man. Like Juvenile Tiny Desk
Yeah,
was lit. Like
yeah.
that was
That Clips
so
one that
good.
was like there were some fun parts in it, but the whole thing, I was like watching the whole thing, and I'm like, I don't know if this hurt or helped Clips's image long term.
I didn't watch that. I'm 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 off Clips right now.
Damn. So your Team Drake.
No, no, it's not that. It has nothing to do with that. I just I can't, you know, like when you know when you like eat the same food for too long that it makes you sick.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about Pusha T's voice.
Mm, I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. And it's also like, yeah, like similar tempos to a lot of the stuff too.
Same like this that same like over exaggerated flow over and over, and I'm just like, ugh, just like ugh, I can't do it.
Well, now we've alienated all the Clips fans.
No,
No,
I'm
I'm
actually
just
still a Clips fan. Like I love like, but like I like the first like two or three albums, and like the Re-Up Gang like mixtapes where he was like flowing, and like now it's like that super slow like spoken word like when he's flowing like mid pace. I love him, but it's just that
I saw I saw Clips, and I'm trying to remember if it was at Fun Fest or South by Southwest, but I saw him in Austin one time.
damn.
Yeah, I saw Crazy. Like one fucked up played a show, the J Tree Showcase, the first year we went down there. I had no sleep. I was super fucking tired. We finished the show, and I'm like pissed off at the band. And then Mike and Josh take off with the car keys to go see some techno DJ play and just disappear. So I'm just like stomping around, like, what the fuck am I going to do? And I walk by this like giant parking lot show, and I try and go in, and it's UGK's headlining. And they're like, you can't go, it's packed. I'm like, fucking shit. So I like walk around the side, and I'm walking by the backstage entrance, and this dude, the security guard's like, "Hey man, where are you going?" I'm like, "I'm just walking by." He's like, "You want to go to the show?" I'm like, "Sure." He's like, "Here,"
Damn.
and just open the gate. Like it's craziest shit ever. And I walk back. There's a dude with an albino snake, like a giant albino boa constrictor, that was also in the Vice Guide to Houston.
Mm.
Because I'm like, "Hey, were you the Vice Guide to Houston?" The guy's like, "Yeah." And then went out there and saw UGK play, and it was like the fucking craziest performance I've ever seen.
Damn.
It
Pre
was
Pimp C dying.
pre Pimp C dying.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and I bought a trip like a 5XL "Don't Mess with the South" UGK shirt
Hell
that
yeah.
I ended up giving away to a friend of mine, which I regret so much.
Damn, you could have sold that to Mills Vintage for so much, bro.
So much. Good thing I got all these OLC shirts to unload still. Thousands of dollars in OLC merch. All right. Well, on unless there's something else you want to add to the RJ conversation. Did you tour with Iron Age? No, I've asked you this before.
No, we didn't. I think they might have without me once.
Yeah.
No, I didn't tour with Iron Age. They
The
stayed at
infamous
my
fight at the frat house show with the gun.
yeah, I wasn't there.
Yeah.
They stayed at my apartment on South Street once, and I remember like Tarpy like looking through my records and magazines, and like I could tell that like he was just like mesmerized. I don't know why. I don't know, you know what I mean? Like I was like, this guy never see fucking magazines before, but
You got cool shit though.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right. So that's probably why. Like that's also like that was like the best part of tour, staying at someone's house who had cool shit, and you're like going through their collection with them, and they're like,
I think it wasn't I don't I mean yeah, like I think it was more just like maybe like I remember like certain like people would if they'd come and visit us like it was like me, Will, and Haroon from like Razzle Dazzle, like living in that's like on like 7th and South Street. You know what I mean? And it was like right during Cold World and like that whole time, and we were just super hip hopped out. You know what I mean? So like I think people were like, most hardcore people weren't like that. You know what I mean? And like I had like my turntable set up and my MPC and like all that shit, and like I think like they just didn't weren't used to that. So
yeah. I guess it was also normally when you saw that set up in someone's house, they weren't still involved in hardcore by that
yeah,
point. It
yeah.
was like they're turned their back on it kind of phase or era. Well, I guess let's move on then to David Sandstrom from the band Refused. Uh, David, someone who I met when Refused played here a couple months ago, and we were going to do a podcast actually at the show, but it didn't work out. And so this has been a while coming, and I was super excited to do this podcast with him because he's got pretty great taste in music, but also he's very opinionated in my favorite kind of way about punk rock and his band. I'm excited to talk about it with you because I feel like you and him kind of have somewhat similar roles within your bands too, where he's like
Mm-hmm.
a songwriter drummer. as well. And I think music taste wise, you guys are kind of similar touchstones too.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting like hearing him kind of have this like being turned off by like Victory Core and like where hardcore was going at the time and stuff. But at the same time, and also like kind of saying like, hey, like, you know, when like my preference for hardcore is stripped down and the old way, you know what I mean? And but meanwhile, what he was making was like pushing the envelope. I mean, in my opinion, like what Refuse didn't push the envelope anywhere near like what like fucking Heroin and Angel Hair and Native Nod and shit like that did like you know like a handful of years earlier, you know. But you know on a high on a larger scale, you know what I mean? And that you know they were kind of pushing things forward. So it's an interesting dichotomy because like that's kind of how I feel too, you know, like with Cold World, like you said, like you know, like I look at how things are now and I'm like, man, why do people like this shit? And my friends are like, but just to fuck with me because they know it's not true. But like, you know, like you're responsible for this band.
No, but you are Woj. We talked about
I
this.
mean, I don't, I don't agree with that, but you know what I'm saying. But like,
Yeah.
you know, like, so it is a weird headspace to be in, and you kind of don't know what to do. You know, like when I drive to work in the morning, you know, like I'll drive to New York. I have to drive to New York for work every Monday morning, so that's 2 hours in my own head on the car. And sometimes I'll just like think of something crazy, have this like epiphany or like turning point, and I'll like text Alex or Arthur like, "This is what we got to do, man!" Like at the rest stop, you know, fuck all the songs we have written now. We have to go straight, blah 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 blah. You know, like this whole crazy like you know what I mean? Like master
Yeah.
plan. And then by the time I get to work, I'm like, yeah, yeah, never mind. That was, I don't know what I was thinking. You know what I mean? Like you just have these like crazy, you just kind of like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? But
Well, to bring it back to our conversation before about what's changed in the current version of hardcore shows having like the one hip hop artist, I think that's the post Cold World Sean Price effect. Whereas before, like hip hop artists and punk artists would come together and it would be like this weird fit. But I think like you guys making that song with Sean Price, which ages awesomely too. Like that song's fucking sick. But I feel like that was sort of the that was the point where it was just like opened up to hardcore. Like DIY hardcore when I say that. Because like obviously major label bands were always sick of it all, did that song with Mob Deep and all that shit.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, or like the KRS-One intro on Sick of It All.
Yeah.
You know, there's stuff in the past for sure. And like,
The
I don't
KRS
know.
One intro though, it's like it's almost like he's still in a different world from
Yeah,
them.
yeah. And he just, you know, says just like a quick intro. But
What about the Lemmy intro for Integrity?
oh yeah.
He does the same thing for them.
Yeah, same shit. Yeah.
It'd be amazing they got him to say the same lines verbatim. Like, what up? This is the Blast Master, Lemmy Kilmeister.
That'd be
It'd
fucking
be
amazing.
amazing. But that, like, and like what you're saying, like I know those bands, Heroin and all that Gravity Record stuff was pushing like hardcore sonically to an extreme. But I feel like what Refuse did was like take that, take that Nation of Ulysses aesthetic, but also then filter it through this sort of like super slick Swedish punk. And that's not to diminish it, but like all
Hmm.
those guys could play. Like that's the crazy
Yeah.
thing about all those Swedish bands. Like they were always much better players than the North American version of that same genre. I found like because these kids have been like he said, like you're kind of streamed into playing a musical instrument once you express interest in it from being a young age.
Hmm.
So I think what they did was unique because they also had like he really talks it down, but like the jungle part on the record
Hmm.
or the poetry part on the record, and bands had done this before, but I can't think of too many hardcore bands that were doing it, and certainly not coming from where they were coming from with it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. putting all that stuff together is awesome, and it's difficult, and you have to be pretty talented to put it all together the way they did, for sure. I'm not.
And you also have to hate, like, at that point, you still weren't allowed to really experiment too much, or like you turn your back on punk and hardcore and be like, yeah, we're maturing, this is our new thing.
You really think that though?
I can't, because, well, I saw it with No Warning. No Warning did it that
Yeah, but
way, and like,
but that is they're like really in the weeds of hardcore. Refused, I don't think were.
back then they're on like crime think comps. Like, I think, like, third
Mm,
party records was putting out the Final Exit 7 inch, and
but
like they were subsumed into that procore kind of world. And maybe it was mainly Dennis, but they were always kind of like trying to pull themselves back to sort of.
see, I think of them. I don't think refused no warning. I think refused Snapcase, Grade, Strife, etc. And like all of those bands were kind of trying to do this, not the same thing, but they were all kind of pushing their own envelopes and trying to break out and do different stuff. You know what I mean? Like it would be one thing like it refused in like 94 or like 95, you know what I mean? But at that point they were.
Yeah, but like, look at even like Earth Crisis, like Slither
Hmm.
era,
Yeah, that's what I'm
like
saying. Like even Earth
they're,
Crisis were trying to like be like Machine Head or whatever the
yeah,
hell.
exactly. But they were like trying to be Machine Head. They weren't being like, this is the shape of punk to come. And
Same
we're,
shit though, like just different toilet, you know what I'm saying?
but I think the different toilet is what makes it different. Like, it's
Yeah.
just like, it is all about how you package something, right? Because like we're seeing that now with like Turnstile. Like, sonically, Turnstile isn't revolutionary, but the packaging of that Sonic is revolutionary. And now
Yeah.
Turnstile sounds changing a little bit, and obviously it's going in a new direction. But I mean, like, in terms of being a hardcore band, like, it wasn't like it came out and it was so different than any other type of hardcore we had heard before. Like, it wasn't like Ink and Dagger or even Cold World.
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason I'm not trying to like diss Refuse, but I don't know.
Well,
It
here's
wasn't as like genre bending and like insane as to me as it was to other people.
no, yeah, because I don't think it's necessarily. I don't know. Like, we're going in circles a little bit, but I will tell you the No Warning Refuse story. So, No Warning was being courted by the infamous Greg Norrie, who has subsequently been outed by
Hmm.
Derek from Sum 41 as, with abuse allegations. But at the time, he was courting No Warning to manage No Warning, and he was trying to tell him that he was super into hardcore. And he's like, "You guys like hardcore? Like, what do you think of that Refused Shape of Punk to Come record? I think it's the greatest record of all time." And this is shortly after this record coming out, and those guys did not like that record. Like,
Yeah.
that's the band I kept kind of referring to as bands that really hated it
Yeah.
at the time. And they're like, "Oh yeah, that's cool, man." And then they were telling me this, and through another friend, I kind of knew the Treble Charger drummer at that time, and so he's talking. He's like, "Yeah, I can't believe Greg's so into hardcore these days." I'm like, "Yeah, he told the No Warning guys that his favorite record of all time is The Shape of Punk to Come." And he's like, "That's fucking bullshit, man. I'm the guy that told him about Shape of Punk to Come. He has no idea about that stuff. I'm the one who turned him on to that." And then so we're hanging out with the No Warning guys, and I just start cracking on them and cracking on. I'm like, he doesn't even really like Shape of Punk to Come. He just made it. He made it up to impress you guys. And they went back and told Greg Norrie that I said that he was a poser and that he didn't like Shape of Punk to Come. So one morning I'm sitting in bed. I think I'm still asleep, and Mike from Fucked Up, who was my roommate at the time, knocked on my door, and he's like, "Hey, there's a phone call for you." And I pick up the phone. It's like, "Hey, Damien, it's I'll just say the guy's name, Trevor from Treble Charger, who was the drummer." And I'm like, "Oh, fuck off, Matt," thinking it was Matt DeLong from No Warning pranking me. And he's
Yeah.
like, "No, I'm serious. It's Trevor from Treble Charger." And I'm like, "Oh, hey, man, what's up?" He's like, "Are you going around talking shit on me, saying that I said that Greg Norrie's a poser and didn't actually like Refused Shape of Punk to Come? Because that's not true, man. It's not true at all."
Oh my god.
So that's the No Warning Refused connection. there. But that record, when it came out, it was it was a bold statement because like bands, like there's not that many hardcore LPs that were like um like a complete package like that. Like it would be a collection of songs, you know. Like
Yeah.
I guess Integrity was doing it with Seasons the Size of Days, and like they kind of did have sort of like album through thematics kind of going through everything, but there weren't too many records like that, like in terms of like full lengths.
Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of looked at it as like a super slick, like swing kids,
Mm-hmm.
which is like you were saying, is kind of taking that Nation of Ulysses kind of thing. Yeah, I don't know. It's just in that vein, and
Like they were, I agree with you, like because of the Victory Records Association, they kind of get lumped in with that. But I think they would have been much more comfortable to be trying to play with bands like Heroin and
I guess, but dude, but yeah, but when heroin refused, had Jenkos and bowl cuts, and were
yeah.
trying to be like Earth Crisis, and that is why I say those bands push the envelope in a crazier way.
I don't
You
know
know
if
what
they
I'm
were ever.
saying? Like the
I don't know if they.
timeline.
Yeah, like I think Earth Crisis. Like I think they're trying to be burned.
Maybe, and I didn't say that in a derogatory way, because those like early pictures of Refuse, I think they look so fucking cool with the
Yeah,
bowl cuts and the super huge clothes and shit. Like, I love the way Refuse used to look. I thought they looked so cool. They're like super skinny and lanky and dope looking.
it's also interesting because at the time, I was like, oh, refuse like Sweden. It's like
Yeah.
one big like city, and then now finding out like those guys were from like the most remote part
Hmm.
of that country, and like you can even hear it on that Hives episode the way bands kind of talk about them being kind of like, oh, they're from the sticks. There's like almost like a dismissal a little bit of them
Hmm.
for being like sort of outside.
So, all right, like where were Abinata from?
Oh, I don't know.
Like, I'm just trying to think of like the like 90s, like who were their like 90s contemporaries.
Abba
Like,
Humbedine, is that band?
I always thought Abinada, Abhanada, right?
I thought it was Abba Humbedine.
I'm I don't know, bro. I never heard that. That's
They're from Umia. Them, the Donuts. Uh, Randy's from up north too. Breach and Fireside, as he mentioned on the show, they came out of Super Dong.
okay.
Uh, so those were like the northern kind of bands, and then like there were a few other ones too.
Where's Acme from?
Germany,
Germany. Oh yeah, you're right.
that's
Okay.
that Bergen sound.
I feel like that band and like that Acme LP, I feel like that is like a modern that's become like a legendary record to like, because of how metallic like metalcore things are now.
Yeah, the
I
Bergen sound is like there's Morzer, Sistral, Acme, Motac. There's like I don't
mhm.
know, like half a dozen bands from like that area and around there in Germany from that time period, and it's like metallic emo violence, I guess would be like the way I would have classified that genre
Yeah.
because you're right, it's like super metallic, but not in a way that is trying to be slick or polished or glammy in any sort of way. It's just like
I mean, it was kind of like in line with what Converge were doing at the time, right? Like,
yeah, yeah, and like Union of Uranus from up here too.
mm,
There's like, but you're right, Converge, that early Converge stuff where it just assaulting to listen to. Like,
yeah, and it has like an interesting aesthetic for the time, you know?
yeah, yeah, it does. It's like I like that stuff, especially that Acme stuff, because it doesn't look like it's trying to rip off or emulate any other thing graphically.
Yeah.
It's like its own world.
It's graphic designer Eurocore.
Graphic designer here. That guy's probably designing stuff for IKEA now.
I mean, all like I remember just like Crucial Response records like always like looked so fucking slick, and they were like way thicker. Like the 7 inches like were twice as thick as like an American 7 inch.
And they were like, it's interesting because I was trying to explain this to my brother today that at the time there was like a real resistance to European hardcore, especially if it was trying to sound American or emulating an American style.
Hmm.
Like people like hated a lot of that stuff. There were bands that, of course, broke through, like True Colors later on,
Yeah,
Manly Free
that's
Banner.
that's way after. Well, not Manly for Banner, but yeah, like True Color. That was like way after. But
But even then, like, can you think of too many Euro bands that people liked, like in America?
I mean, I loved True Blue. Like I remember, like I saw the 7 inch in a um distro, and I was like, "What is this? This looks crazy." And the person was like, "Dude, it's like later." They're like, "It's like later era Cro-Mags worship, and it's like really sick." I'm like, "Really?" So I picked it up randomly. I didn't know what it was, and I fucking loved it. And they played Wilkes-Barre a little bit after, and I was like, I was the only person there who knew any of the songs, and so and then like I remember the drummer Renee like played like sideways like Mackie, you know, and
Yeah,
like the bass player had like a crazy like like Jamaican like string shirt, like those
like the
those
knitted kind of.
yeah, like a mesh
Yeah,
fucking tank top, and they just looked crazy, you know what I mean? So like yeah, I kind of feel like Euro bands like always kind of have that thing of just like kind of like cosplaying American stuff and just kind of like studying certain things and like nerding out on it and getting certain things wrong and lost in translation and but I don't know. Yeah, I know
because
what you mean because like even like during like Youth Crew Revival, like Main Strike tried so hard they never caught on in the States. Like
no sportswear too.
yeah, sportswear, but like yeah, see, they never caught on. Like I had all the records. I had every Main
Same.
Strike sportswear eyeball talking straight 7 inch fucking rocks. Uh
I haven't listened to that thing. It's so fucking long, but
talking straight. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that stuff never broke over here, man. Like they wanted to so bad, you know.
yeah, like it's weird because I think that Refused and more Final Exit kind of broke, but like
Hmm.
not in the same scene. You know, like it was more slightly crustier when Final Exit.
Final Exit for sure. Refused. Like were Refused ever popular before Shape of Punk to come? Like
Chris Logan from Chokehold, after they went on tour, came back and were like, they're the best band in the world. And they had that song on like the Victory video, rather be dead than a tool of your oppression. And then they're all like wearing bright, shimmery, like Rock from the Crypt looking shirts in the
uh,
video. I haven't seen the video in so long, but that's my memory of it. But you're right, like it was popular, but it was like kind of weird with
yeah.
the people that liked it. Like it wasn't it, but then Shape of Punk to come, it broke through huge. And then later on with the locking out stuff, doing all the things with the Belgian bands, I feel like that stuff started breaking through a lot more. And now I think the
Mhm.
walls are kind of crumbled a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Although I don't know, I can't really think of any real popular European
Yeah.
bands at the moment, right?
Oh, all those British bands.
Hey, they wouldn't be happy with you saying they're European though, right?
Well, they would be happy. I don't think the government would be happy with me saying they're European.
No, dude, you British people hate being referred to as European.
Well, I don't know. They are in the continent of Europe
But culturally,
culturally,
they
but
get
even
a
then, like,
trust me, they get
but
offended, dude.
but like British youth crew bands back then, like
You know what
Sworn
it's like?
In,
It's
and
it's like calling Barcelona Spain.
yeah, you're right. I get what you're saying, but even like British bands back then that were doing like American style youth crew hardcore,
Nah,
it
people
people
weren't
weren't into
rocking
it.
with that. Nah.
No, and it was, and I feel like that's changed. But you're right. There's got to be. I know there's European bands I'm like blanking on right
Me
now.
too. There has to be, but
Yeah,
I can't think of any, you know.
I'm still hung up on this $500 OLC shirt. can't get it out of my mind. Gotta retire on this shit. Uh, I was gonna. There was a bunch of stuff to get into, but we should probably move on to the final thing we're going to talk about today, which is the main event. Three
The main
things.
event. All
I look
right.
forward to this for 2 weeks, seeing what you're going to pull out each time.
I mean, I'm trying to not just bring out like just like you know expensive One Life Crew shirts and stuff and floor everybody.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like just bring out like weird stuff and like pace it.
If I win the lottery, I won't tell anyone, but there will be signs like me showing up at a show in a full OLC kit. You'll see sweatpants, a watch, a shirt.
Man, do you
This is
remember like the speaking of, now you say OLC sweatpants and like talk coming off of Eurocore talk. Do you remember that like legendary picture of that like chick in the true blue sweatpants with the Air Max 97s?
no, I
That
don't.
didn't make your way up. Maybe that's like a locking out nerd thing. Like that's
I
like a picture like me and Sammy like just straight up would like write fan fiction to one another about like you know what I mean?
I
It's just like this chick in like in a park I want to say she's like might be like standing in front of like a row of like cops or like security guards or something, and it's like obviously cold out and she's just like crouched like looking, you can't really see her face, and she has true blue sweatpants and silver Air Max 97s. You don't know this picture?
no.
This
I
is
might.
because this is when you were vicing it up, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
we were,
I was out running around with weed dealers and pro wrestlers. So,
yeah, man.
but my True Blue memory is the singer of True Blue was roading for, I want to say, like Reach the Sky,
Yeah.
and Matt DeLong was trading him a Youth Defense League shirt for a Bad Brain shirt, and it was like this thing that had been arranged for months in advance, and then at the show, and that was the first time I had heard of True Blue. I think the 7-inch had just come out on Crucial Response.
Yeah, Kitzel was like one of the first like infamous like eBay dudes. You know what I mean? Like I don't know of any like I think he like allegedly scammed this kid from Wilkes-Barre Kluger out of something. I want to say it was an Outburst shirt. I forget what it was exactly, or something like that. But yeah, like Kitzel was like one of those OG dudes, and I'm gonna say he was a tastemaker in that kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like he was like one of those like early New York hardcore worshipers that kind of like told everybody what was dope about that stuff. You know what I mean?
It was funny too because that was the first time I like realized that, oh, people like value shirts.
Yeah.
Because to me it was always like, yeah, it was just like something you'd wear. Like, oh shit, I can't find the shirt. Someone will have a bootleg of it, or I'll get a bootleg of another shirt by this band. Like it wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was what I was like. Oh my god, I've been approaching this all wrong.
I
Fast forward,
like I was like too like always like too fat for like dope shirts, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Because like in the 80s shirts were so small, but I had like the best shirt I ever had was like I had like an OG Project X shirt, and
Whoa.
I actually traded it to a Euro for a pair of neon Air Max 95s because
Oh,
it was a time where like you didn't know that they would ever make those again. You know what I
and
mean? And I decided I was like, I like Air Max 95s more than Project X, and I need a pair. You know what I mean? So I traded some Euro for them.
you know what? If you ever met the True Blue sweatpants girl, you would need an in of having the Air Maxes.
I mean, look, I got them all now. Yeah. Somebody told me who she. Yeah, I'm gonna send you the picture. I gotta find it. I'll send it. We could do a whole episode about that.
Yeah, we'll go. This will be a whole subsection on it. All right, three things. What do you got first?
All right, I'll go first. I have a. We'll start out in the Far East with a flyer for Gizem Sonic Crime Therapy.
Whoa.
It's two-sided. The other side is way cooler.
Oh fuck. That's nuts.
Yeah.
That. Where'd you
Uh,
buy? Did you get given that, or did you find that, or?
I don't remember. I don't remember. I might have got it off of Yahoo Auction Japan like years
Mm,
ago.
mhm.
But the shows here in 2002, the one is Gizm, Gauze, Laughing Nose, The Trash, Hellchild, and some DJs. And the next one's Coco Bat, Rocky and the Sweden, Paintbox, Ask for It. And the DJ on that show is the person who put the Ava Braun soapbox in my
Oh,
hand.
go figure they'd have an association with Geesum.
And the other one is Forward Judgment, Colored Rice Men. I've never heard them. Final
Oh, they're
Bombs.
a classic band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rapes. Warhead. Oh yeah.
Fuck, that's crazy.
Yeah, man.
That'd be the like, and it's always funny when you get these American bands that go to Japan and then they'd be like at the top of that bill.
Yeah.
You're like you're
Yeah.
watching and you're like, now we have to go on. Great.
I mean, this is crazy, dude. Like, it's like, look at the sign. It says like "Welcome to Manhattan" in the back.
Yeah, it's so nuts.
Fuck, man. I ha-
It was
I have like I have a Sakevi. You know what? I'm not even gonna. I'll save it for the next show off your three things.
all right. Well, I'm gonna start um going to the south
Okay.
of America to Mexico.
Yes.
And this is Penta Zero Miero. This is his mask
Sick.
that I got off him. This is the one he wore in the episode of The Wrestlers that he wrestled in, and then I bought it off him when he got off stage. It doesn't out of the ring. I mean, it doesn't fit on my head, or else I'd put it on. But it's pretty cool. Like the construction of these masks is amazing, and then there's like a maker's mark in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's
Damn.
like
So he wore that in
yeah,
the ring.
yeah. It used to smell like his cologne, but it's kind of worn off a little bit.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah, it was like I was flush with per diem money from Mexico, so I had all these pesos still, and was like, "How much for the mask?" It's like I'm like, "Oh, amazing, yes, definitely, please."
Hell yeah.
Um,
I have
but yeah,
a
they go on.
Great Sasuke mask,
Oh,
but it's
well,
not obviously not worn. But I
you
bought
can
it from
buy
him.
you can buy a Totocon all that ring worn
Yeah.
gear, and like,
It's
man,
expensive, man.
yeah, yeah. They had what did they have last time I was there? The Great Sasuke. No, it was Muda's entrance gear. Like it's like first time his like first entrance gear that he had,
Wow.
and it was $10,000. And I'm sure now it's worth way more, probably way more than back
One
then.
time I was there, they had a pair of giant Baba's sneakers.
Whoa,
It
they
was
had
like
a
seeing Shaq sneakers or something,
yeah,
you know?
they had a handprint
Mm.
of Andre the Giant, and you could put your hand in it.
I've seen, yeah, yeah.
And the story of him having sex with four women, five people at once using his hands makes a lot like sense because like you're like, oh yeah, he's got a lot of space between those
He's
fingers.
like, hop on.
Yeah, get ready. uh, the yeah, they had so much great shit at that Totocon store. Like I
I
was
look
like,
at Totocon. I look at their website every night,
yeah,
literally. I look at
they
Totocon and Discogs like when I wake up and before I go to
they
bed.
had they had this Noah full length white parka that is still one of the coolest jackets I've ever seen, but unfortunately it was signed. And
Uh,
I'm like, oh, I don't know, like I'd want to wear this. Like I wouldn't want to
yeah.
have it just up on the wall, but it looks so awesome.
Yeah, their shit. They have everything, man. It's so cool.
All right, item number two.
Item number two. This is a digging in the crates
Oh fuck. Business card?
business card. Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
With Diamond D and Showbiz's, I guess, phone numbers at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're 212. So yeah, their phone numbers. And it's on like a really cool like paper stock. And I have it was a gift from a friend who knows the artist, and I'm not sure if I should show the other stuff, but I have like the artist did like a little sketch of that drawing and signed it. I have that as well. But yeah, I mean, this is fucking awesome, right? I mean,
Yeah, that's
I
pretty fucking
gotta
neat.
like get a cool little frame for it or something. I just have it in the envelope. My friend gave it to me.
You know Greg Mishka, like Greg who runs Mishka.
Yeah, I know who he is. I don't know him.
He's got a crazy business card collection. Like he put
Hmm.
up some recently, but yeah, that's something that I wish I had because everyone would have had business cards back then. So
Yeah.
I just people just probably didn't hold on to them, but I imagine you could get some hilarious business cards from management and different record labels.
Yeah, I'd love to have like a Master P business card or something.
Oh, it'd be awesome. Or like a Greg Ginn SST business card.
See, that's different. This is our minds go wildly different
Yes,
places.
totally. Okay. I think this is like kind of a few items in this one, so maybe I'll break it up. Okay. So this is the United Mutation second 7 inch uh rainbow person. And there's like a couple different versions, a few different versions of this. But the first version is one that has like the photocopied folded paper sleeve. And they switched to like a pro printed kind of sleeve. And this is like so the first version. And I got this years ago. I think I got it on eBay and bought it because there's a bunch of stuff in it, like stop nuclear testing flyer. But then there's also a note written to the person who ordered the record and saying more about the 7 inch. But there's I guess the person had written to them and talked about comic books in it. So I like your choice of comics in your zine. Judge Dredd rules. We are comics freaks as well as freaks. Have you seen Bean World or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or Femforce?
Uh,
Anyway, thanks again and enjoy. Hopefully we can get up there to PA soon to play for y'all. And then this is from John from DSI Records. But this would have been just when Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles had started coming
yeah,
out.
so like that era, like all those Femforce, Bean World, that is like those are like the biggest names in like what's called like the black and white boom of the 80s, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
Bean World was so crazy because it's like it's like just like these little beans like stick figures through the whole comic, and it was like a big no like known like underground
Oh,
comic.
it's huge. Yeah, like
Yeah,
it was I think it won an Eisner Award or would be nominated for an Eisner Award or something. And
crazy, so sick.
I'm surprised those graphics haven't shown up again, like Bean World stuff.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, so this is I got years ago, and I just love that, like we're talking about that sort of intersection of like, oh shit, of course those guys would be into cool comic
yeah.
books
But
back
wait,
then.
who did you say it was to? The
Someone in PA, it doesn't say the person's name, but someone who did a zine in PA.
Oh, a zine. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I bought it on eBay years ago, but just for that letter
Okay.
referencing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
and Bean World.
I love finding out hardcore bands are into comics.
Yeah, I like finding out like movies, like anytime like someone's into cool shit, like if into cool music, they're probably going to also be into some like cool other elements of pop culture, especially back then.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the Dark Empire like want list. It's like any of the Akira
Yeah.
comics on like Epic and like shit like that is so cool. Then like a newer there's this band from Florida called Seed of Pain.
Okay.
They're like a modern band, modern like metalcore band, and I thought it was really I want to like meet these guys and talk to them because they used I think they had like Tim Vigil from like Faust do
Oh,
a shirt for him, which is sick, man. Because I Faust was like, I don't know if you remember, but like when I was a kid, Faust was like the, it was just like it was during like it was like that kind of like black and white boom, and it was like just like a raunchy version of like Wolverine. You know what I mean? There's
mm-hmm.
just like and there's just like It's basically a porno gore and guts comic, and I was always too young to like get it, but it was like the screwdriver record behind the counter, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now that I'm older, like you could get them in like dollar bins and shit. So I have like 5 copies of Faust #1, you know what I mean? But it's so cool that like a current band are nerdy enough to get Tim Vigil to do a t-shirt.
I even
So
like all those Inner Journey records where they've got like the Wolverine cover for the 7 inch or the Ghost Rider cover for the 7 inch.
yeah, that
So
stuff's cool. There's like even like some victory stuff, right? There's like an Earth Crisis shirt that has like a Wolverine
mm,
and
yeah.
yeah.
So what's your third item?
Oh, my third item. My third item is bringing it back to Wilkes-Barre. This is an Andrew Thomas Company um catalog.
Ah,
Andrew Thomas Company, the guitar player for this for the band Bedford, uh he like was responsible for a lot of these early straight edge shirts.
oh, like is that like I'm straight? Straight edge means I'm better than you and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, like and like Taco Bell straight edge. Later on he did one that was like Warthogs straight edge, like uh fuck, what was the 70s show with or
Oh, Sweat
sorry,
Hogs.
Sweat Hogs, yeah. But yeah, like I'll go through it some more.
Oh, whoa.
So he was like kind of early on, and there's like also like some distro stuff, Doghouse Records
Art
and
Monk. Does this stuff
Art Monk.
show up like in vintage stores? Because like I can't imagine we've gotten too far out of
Yeah, it
the
shows up
area.
sometimes. Like I got one of their shirts off Depop kind of recently, but yeah, I don't know. This dude was from Pittston, which is like a suburb in Wilkes-Barre, and like now he's like kind of like an influential graphic design guy. I think he lives in Chicago, maybe. He doesn't live in the area anymore, but he has some kind of like publishing company that does like graphic design books and stuff. And yeah, he's a man. Chris Sloboda is his name if anybody wants to look him up. But yeah, I don't know why the name of the of his shit was called Andrew Thomas Company, but yeah.
It's like Tim Kerr Records that had nothing to do with Tim Kerr.
Yeah. See, I don't know why it's called Andrew Thomas. I think I used to, but I don't anymore. But the back, the like letterhead is really cool.
Oh, that is sick.
Yeah. And I think I got this via, yeah, I got this from my friend Pepe who works for joint custody. And whenever he gets zine collections, I ask him if he has any Wilkes-Barre zines. So I've gotten a lot of Wilkes-Barre stuff that I'll be showing off
Well, my
in the
third
future.
item is paper, and that is issue number 2 of Teenage Mutant Ninja
Ooh,
Turtles
damn.
that I bought back in the day. Not when it came out, but I bought it off the wall at a comic book shop. 1989, I guess 90.
What printing is it?
I think it's the first or second press.
Damn, man.
Um, but I wanted that's why I was like, oh, should I show it with the United Mutation? But yeah, like this one's like oversized compared to when the other ones came out. Like my brother and I were. It's weird because we were like super into the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm trying to think of where it would have been because it was pre the cartoon coming out, but the comics were available. Like I
Hmm.
think it was pre Archie taking over the comics, but the Mirage comics were in circulation because we had definitely issues of those with the full color covers. And
Yeah, yeah. And I think like they're those like the collections of those was like one of the first like graphic novels to be like available like, you know, in bookstore chains and stuff. Like kind of like at the same time as like
this was.
what's the
Are you there?
yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, it froze for a second.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I think like their early collections with like the graphic novels were pretty well circulated or distributed around that time too.
This would have been before that, even though.
You
Like
think so?
I remember having a black and white issue, and they had an ad for the toy line that was coming out with Playmates before the cartoon series had come out.
Yeah, yeah. They're the collections were already like were out at that time though. Yeah.
Yeah,
There were
yeah.
early
I'm trying
ones.
to, because there was also before the toys,
Hmm.
there was like that role playing game too, and they had like lead miniatures
Oh
for it.
yeah.
And it was all like they all had the red headbands still or bands still.
Turtles, man.
Yeah, because I remember we had like a lead figurine of one of the turtles, my brother and I.
Punk Connection, Danny has a Sid Vicious shirt in the movie.
Well, damn, they must be punk rockers too, because you kind of get that. I think I even heard them in interviews talk about it.
The one guy is like super dorky and not and like not cool, and the other one,
The other one
um,
married like fuck, not Vampira, but like someone crazy, like married like a very famous comic book pinup person.
really?
Yeah, like from the
Damn,
'80s that you would definitely know. I'm just blanking on who it was.
it's not Vampirella.
Maybe it was Vampirella or someone who played Vampirella at some point or something. I
Damn.
don't know. I'm very out of date with my comic book knowledge. As you know, the fact that I've got a comic book from the '80s is my only comic
Didn't
book.
one of them went on to make like Arctic Press, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they must do stuff together, like signings together still or something. Because I've seen stuff that's signed by both of them.
I'm not sure. But yeah, Arctic Press had a lot of really cool books as well. But I mean those guys are got to be so rich. Oh my god, right?
Yeah, yeah. My like you would assume they had a piece of everything,
I
and
would hope so. I mean, it's crazy that Turtles shit still comes out.
yeah, yeah. It's still like a timeless concept,
Yeah,
and the name's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like
it
it
flows.
flows. Yeah, it's like a perfect. Everything about it's just like a perfect idea. Like
Yeah.
they're Ninja Turtles.
And then there was so many like anthropomorphic ripoffs uh like the Miami Vice like rats
Miami
and
Mice.
Miami Mice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
Captain
So
Bucky O'Hare.
yeah, and then there was like something like electromagnetic ninja hamsters or something crazy.
Oh
Like there
yeah,
was some kind of hamster.
and there's like a biker mice thing too. That was like a
Yeah,
toy
yeah,
line
yeah.
from then.
That was
Do you
yeah.
remember also the Playmates toys also did the Toxic Avenger action figures,
Hmm.
which it's wild that they tried to make that an all ages property at some point because that movie is so fucking insane.
Yeah, the movie's grimy, but Toxic Avenger kind of same thing, right? Like
Yeah,
sounds like it could be something that's brought back at any time. So,
they've got there's a new Toxic Avenger movie that's
oh
coming out.
really?
Yeah, and it's like it looks pretty shit, but I think that's the appeal of the original.
Well, that's the thing that I keep hearing is that like movie studios. I'm not a movie guy at all. I don't know anything about movies, but I hear that the rub now is that like movie studios like the only thing that's like paying off are like IPs, like things that like
Mhm.
people already know, and that's why you're seeing like Battleship the movie. It's like what the fuck, but it's like because people are familiar with it. You know what I mean?
People aren't like me, just going to like cool underground movies like How to Train Your Dragon and Superman and Fantastic Four. uh, well, man, I'm looking around my room being like, I should have shown this, I should have shown this, but that's for
Dude,
next episode.
yeah, next episode.
There's been a lot of fun. Where do you want people to find you?
Wojavelli on Instagram and Wojavelli with a zero on SoundCloud.
And you can find me at Left for Gaming or at Turned Out a Punk. And thank you for listening. Please comment. Oh, there was some comments too this week.
What do we
People
got?
said, "What did someone say? You are the master killer of wrestling of podcast co-hosts."
Dude, I speaking of Master Killer, the thing that I wanted to show on this episode's show three things is such an insane Marauder artifact that I'm the only person I know who has one, but I can't fucking find it.
Oh man, well that's next episode. That's like a cliffhanger.
I'm hoping I didn't like give it or trade it away, but I'm gonna search for the next 2 weeks for it. And if I can't, it's not on. It's a piece of music. It's not on Discogs. First of all, so I want to find it
I'm
just to
intrigued.
yeah, I want to find it just to list it on Discogs. But I
Yeah.
bought it from them.
Damn.
Hey,
This is getting like we could actually probably do 25 things and you and me would still not be satisfied.
yeah, I know, but
Because there's like, yeah, I'm looking around my room like now, like I want to show this, I'm going to show this.
now I'm trying to pick out little quirky things. Like I don't want to just go full on, but
Yeah, there's like, there's I like it this thing because it's not you and me showing like the same Minor Threat 7 inch and then the same touch and go record. Like this is meant to be just stuff that's cool because it's cool, not because it's got value or whatever. Like this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comic that
I mean, yeah, I mean, dude, that is a Minor Threat 7 inch, by the
but
way.
only if you slab it now with comics.
Not, dude, if that's a first or second print,
Yeah, but you'd have to slab it right with comics. Like, you don't
not
think?
not that, dude. Like that, those go for so much either
Well,
way.
that if you want to trade it for a pair of Air Max 95s or True Blue sweatpants or an OLC shirt.
Oh my god. I mean, it's that thing is definitely if it's first or second print, it's definitely like around $500 at least.
Fuck. Okay, well, let's find out who bought that OLC shirt and see if they'll trade for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Holler at Dave Sausage.
Is that who bought the shirt? You're outing
No,
Dave.
no, but he
No.
knows he's a go to for comic prices and shit like that.
My comics, I've got comics still because it's like didn't hold on to my cards like I should have, like trading cards, but
Mm.
comics I kind of held on to. But that's like the one thing in my collection that the kids are like eyeing for future investments. Like all these records will be sold for pennies on the dollar when I'm dead, but the comics are going to probably hold on to.
Yeah, I'm. I'm gonna when we get off, I'm gonna tell you about a crazy investment opportunity I just heard that a lot of people are excited about.
All right, well, let me get on this pyramid scheme. Thank you everyone for listening.
Peace.
Okay, recording stop. So we're still streaming for 1 second, so I'm going to hit this.